What's good, gang? It's cool as Mac. I'm back at it again with another UTD Storytime. I'm gonna try to get quicker into it. Last video was annoying to me because it took me forever to get into the story. But today, we're gonna be talking about kind of the performance, like area, kind of making a name for WD&G, making a name for Cool as Mac in Atlanta. So around this time, we weren't getting paid to perform places, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, it was pretty much just about, making a name for yourself and kind of, moving around the city and, being on all sides so kind of people can see, what's to come. Because in Atlanta, I tell a lot of people this all the time, Atlanta's like an incubator, you know what I mean? Like of music, of hip hop. So that means we discover a lot of shit first, you know what I'm saying? But it's a double-edged sword in the way that we move on from music, you know what I'm saying? So the only way to stay relevant in Atlanta, especially during 2012, 2013, is to be performing, you know what I mean? Whether you getting paid or not, if you waiting to get paid, you probably not gonna make it here because everybody is fire. You know what I'm saying? Because coming up in 2013, you could go even back to 2009. 2009, that's when I met 2-9. That's when I met Key and Kurt and Wavy and all them boys. You know what I mean? Gunner Star, all them guys. And even then, you know what I mean? Everybody in that group I thought was dope in some kind of way. You know what I mean? And it was about making a name for yourself, bro. So if you was waiting to get paid, you was going behind 2-9, you was going behind everybody to try to make a name for yourself. You know what I mean? So coming up around that time, you had Smith's Bar, right? You had, I forget what the name of the spot was in Little 5 Points where they did beer and tacos, the first beer and tacos, but that was a spot, you know what I'm saying, you could go and perform at and get lit. And the department store. There was another one too on Moreland. It was right off Moreland. I forget the name of this, forgive me, but if you know the name in the comments below, go ahead and tell me. It's the one with the upstairs stage and the black and white graffiti in the back, you know what I'm saying? We used to do shows in that bitch too, but that was dope. But yeah, those three places for sure, Smith's Bar, that beer and taco spot, and then it turned into a department store on Edgewood. So you'll see a bunch of pictures, man. I was looking through these pictures damn, bro, we did a lot of performing, bro. And to go back and think about it, it was definitely before streaming was a huge deal to everybody. It was way before streaming, everybody could calculate the streams and stuff like that. It was pretty much still beat the streets, you know what I mean? You really need to get outside in your city, become something in your city, drop that shit on SoundCloud, and then just see what it does, you know what I mean, in the stratosphere. So me and Quentin started to really see that we could be something, when we started to perform at these joints and the crowd started to get bigger. Then because we used to just go to we used to go to these places like department store, Smith's Bar. We used to just go there to hang out, too sometimes. So even when we went there to hang out, people would go, "Y'all performing tonight? Y'all boys performing tonight?" That's week after week. It started to get like that, you know what I mean? To the point where we would go there just to hang out, but so many people would ask if we were performing that we would just go on that night. So I thought that was a cool thing, dude. I think it was a time where the music was raw, you know what I mean? People didn't really have super good mixes. It was really just about making a hot record and going to one of these spots and performing it. So back then you had, like I said, 2-9, you had Awful records that would come in there sometimes. You would have, and I'm talking all these places, you would have I remember seeing 21 Savage long ago before he even came out with any record, bro, because Fat Man Key brought him through department store. I remember that shit vividly. I remember Playboy Cardi coming through. And then too, bro, a lot of these people, this used to be our hangout spot. So a lot of times these people that are famous now that used to come through, bro, they were outsiders. You know what I'm saying? Like we were in that shit. We made it popular for them to even want to come through there and even test their music out. So when they came through, they were almost like outsiders, bruh. And we got to like kind of put people through the ringer and be like, yo, if you want to be here, like, you know, you're gonna have to like uphold a certain type of swag. You gotta uphold a certain type of performance and everything like that. So like that got us to performing a lot more. They got people way more interested in us, and this was before all the Drake shit, bro. Because honestly, I was probably performing at some of these spots before QM was, you know what I mean? But when me and QM like became good friends, I started to bring him around a lot of these shits, like, you know, like a lot of these underground clubs and shit like that. Like, and then we were going to strip clubs and shit like that together too. And shout out to my boy Jers, man. Shout out to Jers and the whole Prime family, bro, because they were a big part in that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Making it look like something. You know what I mean? We would all have a spot to meet up at Jers' house. He stayed in Old Fourth Ward. We used to be able to go from his house, literally walk 3 blocks down to the department store and get busy. So it was like you know, there was no like driving drunk nowhere. Like we would just get loaded on whatever we was doing because we were definitely doing stuff back then. And we would walk. We would walk to the department store, you know what I mean, and just kick it, bro. Hang out the whole nine, and you know, and then mix it out with some performances and stuff like that. And that really like immersed us into the city. I was going to Georgia State, so I was already kind of like moving and shaking in the city. So I thought that, you know, these 3 spots like were really, really cool, man. I hope like some of the pictures that y'all see, because I fucking went back down memory lane and was fucking tweaking, bro. We performed a lot of times for nothing at these spots, and it really helped us out, kind of get immersed in the city, bro. We made a lot of relationships in the city, met Schwanbeck that way, and that shit just grew, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was my story time for the day, just shouting out those spots, you know what I mean? And, you know, just a lesson for anybody that's still coming up in the A. It's still like that, bro. The spots might have changed, but we're still an incubator, bro. And, like, you're only as good as your next song, or you're only as good as your last performance. So, that's my story time. UTD, if y'all fucking with these, man, just drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop some comments. And we out this bit. Let's go.